This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
I think it boils down to this. It comes down to this. If you are upset at what Elon Musk and the Doge team is doing right now, if you have a problem with it, you are either a partisan hack who is just upset that he is working for Donald Trump and you hate Trump, or you're a moron. You don't understand the issue. I would say that's the bulk of the Trump, of the Tesla terrorists are just stupid. Or the other possibility, you are one of the criminals who's benefiting, one of the criminals who is stealing billions of dollars from the federal government. There's no other way to look at it. You can't have your head on straight. You can't be thinking clearly and have a problem with what Musk is doing. You can't be aware, smart, good, have good intentions, and still want to stop Elon Musk and the Doge team. If you have not seen it yet, you must see the interview last night that Bret Baier did with Elon Musk and 7 of his lieutenants, 7 of the other members of the Doge team, who explained in detail what they're doing. It is a gift. Every American should be grateful. Every American should take their hat off and celebrate what these guys are doing. It is heroic. It is long overdue. It is something we have never seen before. Every administration, every public official says they want to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. They want to bring down the debt, bring down the deficit. They all talk about it. They've been talking about it forever. Finally, and at last, we have people who are actually doing the work. And they're just not average people. They are brilliant people. They are selfless people. These are American heroes. There's no other way to look at it. If you are one of those people who's keying a Tesla, who's kicking and screaming and saying Musk is a fascist, Musk is a Nazi, Musk must be stopped, you are a moron. You are a fool. You're not aware. You're not paying attention. This was a truly amazing interview, and it was really effective. It was enlightening. It was reassuring. It was amazing. Somehow, some way, Elon Musk got a bunch of brilliant guys, just the best of the best and the brightest, computer engineers, CEOs, billionaires. He had 3 billionaires on stage with him. People who don't need this, people who've dropped everything, headed to Washington, and are putting in 16-hour days, who are working 7 days a week to save your country. That's what they're doing. We are in a debt spiral. We have a major spending problem. We have a major theft problem. People are stealing from you. People are scamming from the government, taking money and putting us on a road to bankruptcy. We have a $36 trillion debt. We have a $2 billion annual deficit. They're doing something about it. They're doing it because they're doing it for the best of intentions. They're doing it to save your country. And somehow, some way, Democrats, the mainstream media, have convinced millions of Americans that Musk is the bad guy, that these guys, these brilliant guys, are somehow bad for your country. It is just a mind-boggling phenomenon we have right now. We have a guy doing what needs to be done, a guy who doesn't need this, a guy who's losing billions of dollars, who's not getting paid, who's not stealing from you. He's trying to stop the criminals. Indeed, he is stopping the criminals. And you're upset. You're going to go protest outside a Tesla dealership tomorrow, the big day of action, take down Tesla is tomorrow. Well, yesterday, these guys explained what they're doing. And honest to God, you must see this. You must listen. You must wake up. It's time to wake up, America. It really is. And appreciate what you have going on. These guys should be treated as heroes. These guys are catching criminals. These guys are finding fraud in your government. And you have people that want to stop them. What a wild time. What a weird time. Honestly, if you're stupid and you're just doing what some guy on MSNBC told you to do, that's bad. If you're indeed trying to stop them because you are one of the criminals, that's really bad. I'm having trouble. I'm really having trouble getting my mind around this. They're not benefiting from this. They're not making money. They're not stealing. They're catching the people who are stealing. Yes, that's what they're doing. They're catching the people who are robbing the Social Security Administration, who are committing Medicaid fraud. They're catching the people who are making millions and doing nothing. That's the problem we have right now. That's the problem we've had for decades. The spending in the federal government is a gold mine for the worst people, the thieves, the scammers. And right now, you have guys who are really smart and really computer savvy and are finding this, catching this, stopping this. And you have an entire political party, the Democrat Party. You have the entire mainstream media. You have people following like sheep along with this effort to stop a man and a team who want to help this country, save this country, keep this country from going bankrupt. It is just it's infuriating what we're watching right now. It truly is. So they sit down, these guys, Musk picks 7 other guys to sit down. Again, 3 billionaires, CEOs, brilliant guys that you don't generally see working in the federal government because, these guys are innovators, creators, job creators. These guys are menches, and they say, you know what I'll do? I'll put my life on hold. I'll tell my wife and kids, I'll see you in a few months. I'll tell my company I need to take a break because I need to save this country. And this is upsetting. This is bothering people on the other side of the aisle because they're working for Trump. Well, actually, they're working for you. They're working for the United States of America. They are doing what no one has been willing to do for decades. Hell, for forever. Nobody has been willing to do what these amazing guys are busy doing now, all day, every day. And when you listen to them, you say, this is really hard work. I couldn't do it. One guy said he's in charge of the retirement accounts in the federal government. And he showed up at work and they told him, you got to go to the mine. Mine, like M-I-N-E, the mine. What's the mine? The mine is an actual mine. It's in Pennsylvania, I believe. It's just a big underground bunker that holds all the retirement records for the federal government. And they're all on paper. They're all in folders stacked on top of each other. This guy has volunteered to take that and digitize it, computerize it, bring it into the modern age. That sounds like an awful job, a brutal job. That's what he's doing for you, for us. And what are they going to do about it? What are the Democrats? What are liberals? What are half the country doing? They're calling him a Nazi. They're saying he must be stopped. It's just bizarre. You got to wake up. You got to start paying attention. All right, we got to get to this whole thing. It's amazing. It's, I believe, 31 minutes long. Not long enough. I wish they just kept going, because listening to these guys was really, really reassuring. They are really smart. They are really well-intentioned. Again, they don't need this. They volunteered for this. They're not like most employees in the federal government. They're not there for the fat paycheck and the easy job and the 3 and 4 day weekends and the let's work at home and just wait till I get a big fat pension. That's not what they're doing. No, they're doing God's work here. I don't even know where to begin. It was so mind-blowing. One of the guys, actually, I believe it's the guy who's in the mine trying to take all that paperwork and put it on computers. He's the CEO, the owner, the founder of Airbnb. He's a billionaire. He's in jeopardy of having his business destroyed, just like Tesla. They're going to come after him because he's doing this. It's just the whole thing is just so insane. All right, we got some of the highlights. It really was amazing. They started off by telling one story of wasteful spending, and it was amazing. The federal government put out a survey to people about the national parks. Do you like the national parks? What would you do to improve the national parks? You know what it cost? $1 billion to make to do a survey of people who use our national parks. Musk points out that should cost $10,000. It cost $1 billion. They could have stopped the interview right there. I would have been, I'm good. Keep going, guys. That's just one item. I believe Musk said, here's the goal. Here's the goal for Doge, to eliminate $1 trillion in wasteful federal spending and fraud in 130 days. Their goal is to find $4 billion a day, 7 days a week, until they cut the federal debt, the annual debt, in half from $2 billion to $1 billion. That's what they're doing. The people who are protesting this, they're trying to preserve a crime scene. That's what they're doing. These aren't federal agencies. These are crime scenes. And the people scratching Teslas, or people like Jasmine Crockett or Akeem Jeffries or Liz Warren, are trying to preserve this culture of crime and theft and fraud. That's what they're doing. They're claiming Musk is making money. No, he's not. They're claiming Musk is going to destroy Social Security. Just the opposite, as he explained. All right, where to begin? Let's just start with Musk off the top. Musk explaining the mind-blowing, his word, not mine, the mind-blowing waste, fraud, and corruption in the federal government. Listen to this.
For you, what's the most astonishing thing you've found out in this process?
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually. For example, like the simple survey that was literally 10-question survey that you could do with SurveyMonkey, cost you about $10,000. Was the government was being charged almost $1 billion for that.
For just the survey?
$1 billion for a simple online survey. Do you like the national park? And then there appeared to be no feedback loop for what would be done with that survey. So the survey would just go into nothing. It was like insane.
You text
$1 billion for a survey. That he says that's just one thing. Astonishing, mind-blowing waste. How can we not? Why can't we all get on board with this? Why? I understand. I think I know the answer. Because Trump's doing it. It must be bad. These guys should be treated like Neil friggin' Armstrong, like American heroes. That's how we should look at them. What they are doing is benefiting all of us. And it was just incredible revelation after another. Get the Social Security guy. The guy who is doing the deep dive at Social Security explains that 40% of the calls received at Social Security, you know those calls that Democrats keep telling you that they can't get through to the poor Social Security recipients haven't got their checks and they can't get through to anyone, and they're living paycheck to pay. They don't know what to do. Well, they found out that 40% of the calls are fraudsters, the people using other people's social security numbers, the people finding dead people and stealing their social security number and getting social security benefits. And Musk explains if they succeed, the legitimate social security recipients will get more. Obviously, they will save billions if they catch all these fraudsters. Listen to this.
We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%.
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's social security is what happens. Is they call in, they say they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the social security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day, and then somebody doesn't receive their social security. It's because of all the fraud loopholes in the social security system.
How do you reassure people that what you all are doing is not going to affect their benefits?
No, in fact, what we're doing will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of Doge, will receive more social security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of Doge, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less money.
All right.
I want to emphasize that point and let the record show that I said this, and it will be proven out to be true. Let's check back on this in the future.
So Washington Post, the Social Security Administration website crashed 4 times in 10 days this month because the servers were over.
They explain that. They say the servers are ancient. In some cases, we're using the same computers, the same system from the 1970s. And these guys are aghast. These are computer whizzes. I mean, the best of the best. And they're saying, what the hell are we doing? They're trying to modernize the computer systems. And, when they're done with their 16-hour day, they go back to their hotel and get death threats. Or they pick up their phone, or they get a message saying, we want you dead. It's just incredible. A few more. I mean, there was just one mind-blowing revelation after another. They asked about firing federal employees. We keep hearing how cruel it is. They're firing hardworking, career federal employees. One of the Doge guys points out that 0.15 of federal employees, 0.15, like 0.1%, have been fired. To me, that's not enough. But he points out they're offering these generous buyout packages, 8 months severance, $25,000 payments to leave, enhanced pension benefits to get useless federal employees to walk away. That's what they're doing. They're not firing. They're virtually firing nobody. And so they just exposed one lie after another: the Social Security lie, the firing the federal employees lie, the making things less efficient lie. All Democrats, the media, have been doing to America for 2 months now is lying. That's all they're doing. Liz Warren lies to you every freaking day about Musk. That's what she's doing. And it's very frustrating. Musk sounded very frustrating. He was pissed off about the people attacking Tesla. He was pretty clear about that. Here's another one. They found 4.6 million federal credit cards issued to employees. There's only 2.3 million employees. There are twice as many company cards issued than employees. They've cut that number in half. They've eliminated more than 2 million federal credit cards, which were, again, used fraudulently. Again, these are thieves. I said this on Twitter. We have to stop calling it waste. God knows there's a lot of waste. But the big problem here is theft. These are criminals. These aren't people this isn't just a bloated federal bureaucracy. These are people stealing from us, and they're getting caught. Here's another one that was amazing. The guy doing the deep dive at HHS, Health and Human Services, said they have 40 communications offices. 40. One agency has 40 PR offices. And he said they don't even coordinate. They don't even talk to each other. So what if we take that and make it 20, 10, 5, or even, God forbid, 1 communications office for this big federal agency? Would that be cruel? Would that be heartless, inhumane? It just, it's such common sense. How about this one? 300 million in small business loans to children under the age of 11. 300 million stolen by people using false identities. One kid was 9 months old and received a small business loan. Are you okay with that? Liz Warren, Hakeem Jeffries? Are you okay with that? Jake Tapper and Chris Hayes? I mean, they're not honest brokers. We know that. They're not telling you the truth. They are lying. They're just flat out waking up every day and lying to you about what Musk and his team are doing. That's it. They should all be celebrating. We should all be celebrating. Why are judges? This was an interesting one. Musk was asked about, the judges, federal judges who are obviously devoted Democrats trying to stop this effort. And you probably think, oh, they're just Democrats. They're just, falling in line with the party. No, they're making money. They got a financial stake in this, just like lots of Democrats, as we learned with the USAID scandal. Lots of Democrats are benefiting financially from these various scams and schemes. Here he was asked about the judicial activists who are trying to stop him.
Are you surprised at some of the legal efforts and some of the judges that have weighed in? There's about 8 or 10 now of these cases that are at least temporary holds. They're being challenged by the DOJ.
Right.
Are you surprised by that pushback?
Well, it's the DC Circuit is notorious for having a very far left bias. And when you look at the people close to some of these judges, where are they working? Oh, they're working at these NGOs. Oh, they're the ones getting this money. Does that seem like a system that lacks corruption? It sounds like corruption to me.
You know what? He should be working alongside Pam Bondi. He should have a DOJ team, because again, eliminating the waste and the fraud and the bloat is one thing. But what he's doing is uncovering crimes. Again, I know I keep saying this, but you can't just say we're eliminating $1 billion at the HHS. We need to know who's stealing it. We need arrests. We need prosecutions. This isn't waste. This is theft. That's what this is. And it's been going on for decades. And it's mostly Democrats. It's mostly deep state snakes. And they're stealing from you. And they're telling you Musk is conflicted and Musk is a Nazi with his magical chainsaw. It's just so bizarre. It is so partisan. It is so dishonest what they're saying, what they're doing to this man. We'll get to the big Tesla takedown day, but there was one more. There's a whole bunch more. You really do have to spend a half an hour and watch this and say, man, how do you get people to do this? How do you get CEOs and billionaires to volunteer to take this risk, to give up their lives? And it really is patriotic. These are patriots who are doing this, who are dropping everything to save this country. They're not getting anything out of this other than death threats and people who will boycott their businesses. When I saw this group assembled, can you throw the picture up of the 8 of them? My first thought is Democrats are going to say, they're all white men. There's no diversity. That's the first thought. No, they're all white men. They're white. We don't have any. Tim Walz is going to be very upset when he sees this.
Elon Musk is African. Don't forget.
Oh, that's true. He's an African American, but they're all white men. They have one thing in common. They're all brilliant. They're all wildly successful. They all run successful businesses, and they're looking at the federal government as a business. And they're saying, this is a disaster. This is something that should have happened 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, that we should have brought in the best minds in the private sector. Said, can you help us try to straighten out this mess? We're 36 trillion in debt, and the people fighting these guys don't care. They're fine. Let's just keep jacking up the debt. Let's keep spending wildly. Let's not uncover the fraud. And you're wondering when you look at this, what do these guys do? They get up every day in whatever their DC hotel room. They go to work day and night. I mean, how do you do that? How do you find people that do that? Well, somehow Musk has done it. Musk and his team have found selfless, patriotic billionaires to volunteer to do this work. And they go to, what's his name, Hansen. They asked each of the guys at least one question, I think. Tyler Hassan. He's a Houston businessman, very successful. You know, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this? This was interesting. Go ahead.
You guys all see this as a patriotic duty? I mean, is that really what this is about?
It's essential.
Very much I do, 100%. I was running 5 businesses in Houston, and I left that. I left great people to do this. And my wonderful wife said, go for it. And here I am. But I feel like this is me giving back to the country.
If we don't do this, we're sunk. The ship, unless this exercise is successful, the ship of America will sink. That's why we're doing it.
Simple. Does anyone in the media ever ask, Hakeem Jeffries or Liz Warren, if they don't do this, what happens? We just keep with the spending, this waste. We continue to have 40 communications departments in one agency. We continue to run up a deficit of $2 billion a year. If we don't do this, what happens? Is that what you want? You want us to not do this? And of course, the media is not handling this well. I was curious, Googled it this morning, like, what are they saying? They're saying that Musk cherry-picked the people to appear on this show. No, really? He actually picked guys who were doing the work, really smart guys, to explain what they're doing. Here's the Daily Beast this morning. Elon Musk cherry-picked his more seasoned Doge lieutenants for a primetime interview, opting to leave out the numerous 20-something foot soldiers and several teenagers who have dominated news cycles with their hostile takeovers of agencies. The billionaire used the opportunity to introduce the public to some of the leaders spearheading his slash and burn approach to government reform. 7 Doge staffers joined the interview to share their perspective on why they've decided to join the effort. So he didn't bring in big balls or any of the young guys. He just brought in these seasoned guys. Well, gee, why would you do that? That's all they got. That's all they got. They can't admit, they just can't bring themselves to admit that this is a gift from these guys, from Musk to all of us. It is truly a godsend. We should all be grateful. But no, we're going to go out and key a Tesla because they're finding so much waste, so much fraud, because they're eliminating condoms for Gaza or Sesame Street in Iraq or inclusive workplace programs in Lesotho. We're getting rid of those. Let's go out and firebomb a Tesla. All right, we'll get to that. Tomorrow's the big day. Take down Tesla Day. Get ready. None of these morons can explain why they're keying a Tesla. None of them can explain why they're so upset. They just can't. They don't know. They've been told, as Musk says, it's the propaganda they're seeing on TV, and he's right. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they're doing it. But they were told, Musk is a bad guy. Let's get him. And that's coming tomorrow. We'll get to that and much more. But first,
Excuse me.
Armslist.com is America's firearms marketplace, unwavering in their belief of the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Armslist.com has been in the fight for our Second Amendment rights, battling the Brady campaign and their cronies since their initial assault in 2013, emerging victorious. Armslist.com is not only at the forefront of the fight for your rights, it's your go-to platform to buy, sell, and trade firearms, ammo, optics, and more locally, or tap into their nationwide network of firearms dealers. For a limited time, Arms List is extending an exclusive discount to Newsmax listeners. Head to armslist.com/Newsmax and use coupon code Newsmax to get your first month of premium membership for just 99 cents. Join the fight and come and get what they want to take right now at armslist.com/Newsmax. Well, tomorrow's the big day, Tesla Takedown Day, March 29th. Jasmine Crockett's birthday, too. Happy birthday, Jasmine. I wonder if she'll join one of these protests. There's 500 locations. I'm looking at the flyer right now. The flyer says, sell your Tesla, dump your stock, stop Musk now. The global day of action to stop Elon Musk. Here's what they write. Elon Musk is destroying our democracy and using his fortune he built at Tesla to do it. We're taking action at Tesla to stop Musk's illegal coup. Sell your Teslas, sell your stock, stop Musk. The stakes couldn't be higher. No one is coming to save us, not politicians, not the media, not the courts. Hashtag Tesla takedown, boycott Tesla. And they give all the locations. There's hundreds of them. So they're going to show up in full force tomorrow to stop the man we just heard from and the guys around him, to stop them. I mean, again, this is so bizarre. I understood in 2020 why people were upset. I mean, they were stupid and they were lied to and they were misguided, but they thought Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. They thought that. So they burned neighborhoods to the ground. It was insane, but you could almost understand the motivation. I mean, I understood why people were upset about global warming. They're stupid, they're misguided, but they were told that oil was going to kill us all, oil, fossil fuels. So they went out and they blocked traffic. Why are these people going to Tesla dealers tomorrow? Why? Because Musk is threatening our democracy? How the hell is he doing that? Again, either you're a partisan hack who's benefiting, stealing, or you're a moron. Mostly morons. Before we get to all the morons, throw him up there. I want to do this because here's what's happening. And Pam Bondi promised that they would catch this guy, and they did. Here, hopefully, is an object lesson for all you idiots thinking of trashing a Tesla. They caught the guy from Las Vegas. This is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. A man accused of setting multiple Tesla vehicles on fire in Las Vegas has been arrested and faces federal charges, authorities said, striking a blow against the escalating nationwide attacks on Elon Musk's company. Paul Hyun Kim, 36, booked into the Clark County Detention Center, facing a total of 15 counts, including felony charges of arson, destroying property, possessing or disposing of a fire device, and misdemeanor charge of discharging a firearm into a vehicle. He's going away. This guy is going to go away for 20 years. He's facing something, 30-something years. He's going to go away 10, 15, 20 years. We're not messing around anymore. This isn't the summer of love. There will be a price to pay. And hopefully people take note of this. People keen Teslas, they're going to pay a price too. I saw Chris Sununu last night on, former governor of New Hampshire, on with Rob Finnerty, and he said they are going to go after our pal Jim Pillis, who keyed the Cybertruck up at the Mount Washington Hotel over the weekend. Said they're not messing around. It's not Massachusetts. He's going to face the full force of the authorities in New Hampshire. But check out the biography of this Tesla terrorist. Kim had ties to social media groups such as the Communist Party USA, Revolutionary Communist International, Palestine Action. He's a communist and he's a radical, and he blew up Teslas, and now he's going to pay the price. You are all going to pay a price. Again, this isn't 2020. This isn't the Biden, Merrick Garland Justice Department. He's going away. And I'd love to hear him explain why. Why? Musk must be stopped. The guy who made electric cars, the guy who was saving the earth a year ago, must be stopped? Tell me why, Paul, Mr. Kim, explain why. They can't. There was a great man on the street. Do we have the man on the street asking people why they hate Doge, why they hate Musk? It went about as well as you could expect it. They don't know. They have no idea. They can't. These are, I explained earlier that some of the people upset are benefiting, are making money from these scams. The Democrat politicians in Washington, they want to keep the scams going. It's enriching their family, enriching their friends. And then you have the morons here on the streets of, I'm not sure where, but here on the streets protesting Doge are the morons. Go ahead.
We're protesting the Doge cuts. What's been cut?
I would rather not speak to any specific things.
Let me think. What's been cut? Way too much.
The entire work of the CFPB has been stopped.
Big fan of Bill Clinton?
I think we're getting off topic here.
What's he got to do with this?
Well, he laid off 400,000 federal workers when he was in office.
Are you trying to suggest that the cuts that they're making to the federal workforce has a precedent in history?
Exactly.
Okay.
This man is a genius. A genius.
Trump ran on this. He won on this. Isn't this what democracy looks like?
He didn't run on this.
Trump actually didn't run on it. He didn't tell people what his plans were. Did he mention Doge? He mentioned Doge.
I will create a government efficiency commission. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force.
They're cutting stuff, but it's not waste. It's stuff that we need.
Do you need Sesame Street in Iraq?
Yeah, we might.
I don't. What?
Sorry? All of this is a lie.
Do you support sending money to Sesame Street in Iraq? I guess so. What about the sex changes in Guatemala that we were sending $2 million to?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are they different than sex changes anywhere?
Well, it's not federally funded here.
You got me. I can't comment on that. I don't even know I'm paying for that.
That's why Elon's doing what he's doing. Well, he's helping you.
They don't know. They don't know. We need more of this. We need more of these interviews. Go to the Tesla dealers tomorrow, media. Ask these idiots why they want to stop him, why they want Musk dead. They don't just want to stop him. They want him dead. They want to preserve this current way things are going, this debt spiral we're on. They want to preserve Sesame Street in Iraq and all the rest of the wasteful stuff.
That is such a funny question. Do you support Sesame Street in Iraq?
That was $20 million. Again, it's not Sesame Street in Iraq. It's a front. It's a scam. Many people were getting rich. By the way, they pointed out in this interview, Musk and his guys, the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams, who was supposed to buy energy efficient appliances for poor people. Her company had $100 in the bank in 2023. In 2024, Joe Biden gave her $2 billion. Why? Climate change. I'll say it again. Anytime it is wrapped in climate change, it is a scam. It is just a way to enrich well-connected Democrats. And if Kamala had won, the scam would still be going on. They'd double down. They'd all be getting rich. All the judges and the politicians' families and all their kids and all their friends would still be getting rich on your back. These people don't even know that their money is going to these scams. They don't even care. The man on the TV told me Musk is a bad guy. So I have to go out and key a Tesla and throw a Molotov cocktail. See if you can get that question Brett Baer asked about people targeting Tesla, because it was pretty amazing. He said that he wants to go after the people funding it and pushing the propaganda. This is another thing that upset the media because, he wants to go after the people criticizing Tesla. No, he wants to go after the people who are convincing these morons that they should go out there and vandalize Teslas. And I think that's a good thing. Let's expose them. Let's find out who's paying for these protests, who's motivating these morons. It'd be a good thing. It'd be a great thing to find out, because tomorrow could get ugly. And I'm not just talking about Jasmine Crockett celebrating her birthday. I'm talking about the people you just saw who are going to show up at Tesla dealerships and try to tank the stock and destroy a great American company because the CEO, a guy who owns 12% of the company, is trying to save your country. It is truly, truly amazing. All right, speaking of amazing, let's get to, I go back and forth on who I want in 2028 to be the Democrat nominee. I want Jasmine Crockett on the ticket, whether it's top of the ticket or VP. Kamala, we wouldn't mind that. She's a disaster. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Rosa DeLauro, Maxine Waters. There's a lot of good candidates for the Democrats that I think could win. Yeah, they could beat J.D. Vance. So I want them on the debate stage. I want to see them run. You know who's running? Tinkerbell Tim. Tampon Tim Walz. He's already campaigning, essentially. He made a big appearance with Beto O'Rourke, to rile up the resistance. This is who they got out front speaking for them now. By the way, he says he's talking to how young people are motivated. Check out the crowd behind him in this picture. There's nobody there who's under 60, 70. All the old ladies who've been convinced that Trump is evil and Musk is a bad guy. They loved him. They love Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim has identified the problem Democrats have, why their party has hit an all-time low, why it has a 27% approval rating, why people are rejecting their ideas all over the country. He wants you to know it's because they haven't talked about DEI and woke stuff enough. Listen to this lunatic.
That our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them. And so
he wants to double down. Tim wants to talk more about DEI and wokeness. And he says diversity is our strength. Sorry, Tim. That ship has sailed. No more DEI. And again, they never explain. What does that mean? Diversity is our strength. Why? There was no diversity on that stage with Elon Musk, but man, there was a lot of brain power, a lot of energy, a lot of work ethic. No diversity unless you count diversity of thought. Why would you count that? They don't want diversity of thought. It's all about immutable characteristics, and I think they really should stick with that. Stick with that. Good idea, Timmy. All right, we got to get to this. We didn't do this yesterday. I want to another thing that has the Democrats, at least in the Boston area, really upset is that the Trump team took another Hamas fan off the street, and they're going to send her home. And this is pissing people off. As the media points out, and the Democrats, they snatched her off the street. They kidnapped her. And I could say there's a lot of Democrats, a lot of Hamas fans, really upset. Her name is Ramiza Ozturk. She's a Turkish national here on a student visa, violated the terms of her student visa. She was picked up by ICE. She was immediately flown to Louisiana, so a Massachusetts judge couldn't save her. She's, again, a 30-year-old student going for her doctorate in some worthless major at Tufts. She has an undergrad and a master's from Columbia, of course, but they didn't snatch her. They walked up to her and said, "Ma'am, can you come with us?" They handcuffed her and they took her away because she's not a citizen. She's not an American. She came here under an agreement. You get a student visa. You agree to come here and study. You don't agree to come here and support a terrorist organization that has killed Americans and is still holding at least one American hostage. That's what she did. That's why she's leaving. Why do you want these people here? Why do you want people here who chant death to America? They come here to take advantage of all this country has to offer, and they say death to America, death to Israel. Again, I turn the question around. People say, why? It's got nothing to do with freedom of speech. This isn't about the First Amendment. It's about a student visa and the privilege of coming here. And Marco Rubio is so good at this. He's so good at explaining things clearly, concisely, and he faced down the media, who was very upset that one of their, anti-Semitic, anti-American students was being shipped home. They're not going to prison. Mahmoud Khalil isn't going to El Salvador. He's going home to Syria. She's not going to prison. She's going home to Turkey because we don't want her here. Simple as that. Listen to Marco explain.
We revoked her visa. It's an F1 visa, I believe. We revoked it, and here's why. And I'll say it again. I said it everywhere. Let me be abundantly clear, okay? If you go apply for a visa right now, anywhere in the world, let me just send this message out. If you apply for a visa to enter the United States and be a student, and you tell us that the reason why you're coming to the United States is not just because you want to write op-eds, but because you want to participate in movements that are involved in doing things like vandalizing universities, harassing students, taking over buildings, creating a ruckus, we're not going to give you a visa. If you lie to us and get a visa and then enter the United States and with that visa participate in that sort of activity, we're going to take away your visa. And once you've lost your visa, you're no longer legally in the United States, and we have a right, like every country in the world has a right, to remove you from our country. So it's just that simple. I think it's crazy. I think it's stupid for any country in the world to welcome people into their country that are going to go to your universities as visitors. They're visitors. And say, I'm going to your universities to start a riot. I'm going to your universities to take over a library and harass people. I don't care what movement you're involved in. Why would any country in the world allow people to come and disrupt? Now, we gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. And if we've given you a visa and then you decide to do that, we're going to take it away. I encourage every country to do that, by the way, because I think it's crazy to invite students into your country that are coming onto your campus and destabilizing it. We're just not going to have it. So we'll revoke your visa. And once your visa is revoked, you're illegally in the country and you have to leave. Every country in the world has a right to decide who comes in as a visitor and who doesn't. If you invite me into your home because you say, I want to come to your house for dinner, and I go to your house and I start putting mud on your couch and spray painting your kitchen, I bet you're going to kick me out. But we're going to do the same thing if you come into the United States as a visitor and create a ruckus for us. We don't want it. We don't want it in our country. Go back and do it in your country. But you're not going to do it in our country.
That is so good. That is so crystal clear. We invited you here to study, to get a degree. When you're leading protests, anti-American protests, when you're vandalizing, when you're supporting a terrorist organization, it couldn't be simpler. By the way, that's one of the reasons you get your visa revoked. Supporting organizations designated by this country as terrorist organizations, you got to go. Here are the numbers, by the way. You know, he's rounding up, according to Democrats in the media, rounding up all these radicals. They've revoked 300 student visas for people who are participating in these anti-American, anti-Semitic protests, violent protests. That's 300 out of 1.2 million foreign students. One of every 4,000 foreign students. Yes, we have over 1 million foreign students in this country, and too many of them come here and hate us, come here and they come here to protest. They come here to use our rights, our freedoms against us. So good riddance to Rumzia. You don't have to go home. You don't have to go back to Turkey. You just can't stay here. All right. Speaking of students, the failure of students, before we go, I got to do this. I know we had this for a couple of days, but it just makes me laugh out loud. I believe these interviews on the beach at spring break were done about the same time. Donald Trump said we were defunding, we were eliminating the Department of Education. And of course, the media, the Democrats, the liberals screamed, oh, it's going to ruin public education in this country. We're not going to spend $3 trillion on public education, which is a lie. It's the money is going to be there. It's going to go to the states, the local communities, as well it should. The Department of Education has been around for 40 years, and it has failed miserably. I don't think you can dispute that anymore. The test scores bear it out. The illiteracy rate among kids bears it out. It should be eliminated. It will be eliminated, and that's a good thing. Here's an interview on the beach with a number of products of our public education system. These are college students. Watch this.
Who did the colonists fight in the Revolutionary War?
Oh, God. In the Revolutionary War?
It was, I don't know if this is right. I mean, it sounds so stupid. Was it the Spanish? Wait, what are your majors?
Business? Biology.
Okay. Elementary education. Oh. What shape is the U.S. Pentagon building?
Isn't it just a square?
How many U.S. senators are there?
6, 7.
How many amendments are in the Bill of Rights?
There's a lot. I know 17.
Who won the Civil War?
Oh, shoot. It's East or West, right?
Well, it's the Civil War, so it's the civilians versus whoever was in power. How many justices are on the Supreme Court?
Justices? Mm-hmm. So, like when you say that, like you mean like the FBI?
Who is on the $100 bill?
Oh, I know.
Abraham Lincoln?
Nope.
Abraham Lincoln. Come on, bro.
That's the First Amendment. What's the second?
Right to vote.
Name 3 states that border Canada. We'll just do one per person.
Asia.
I didn't know Canada had a border.
College students, products of our education system. Name 3 states that border Canada. One kid says Asia. The other one says, I didn't know Canada had borders. How is that possible? I mean, that is just amazing. Again, the Department of Education was formed in 1979. If you went back to before that, like 75, 60, 50, 40, kids would know this. They would know that Asia is not a state that borders Canada. How do you get through high school? How do you get through life being that stupid? I mean, I know, Ironhead, I know you're not a Rhodes Scholar or anything. You're not a Ivy League grad, but can you name a state that borders Canada?
Mississippi, probably, right?
That's, you know what? That's better guess than Asia.
I named a state.
They don't know anything. These are college. They have high school degrees. They're in college, and they think
education was one of their majors.
Well, she's a major in education, and they don't know anything. That right there is the only argument you need in favor of eliminating the Department of Education. It was a nice try. We experimented. We gave it a shot. We wasted $3 trillion. It didn't work. It failed. How could you even make the case that it's going to get worse now without spending all that money and enriching all those bureaucrats in Washington? How could you imagine that will get worse? That people, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when asked, can you name a state that borders Canada, would say Asia.
Terrible.
Who was in the Civil War? It was East versus West, right? It was civilians versus the government.
It was an all-star game, East versus West.
Yeah, they're having a good time. They're happy. They're getting their degrees. They're going to be in the workforce. They're going to be teaching your kids. It is just amazing. We have failed. I needed that. That thing just made me laugh so much. Just the interviewer too. She couldn't stop laughing. And how stupid, how just moronic these college students are. And
I like how the Second Amendment, the thing they fight against the most, he's like, it's the right to vote, right?
You know what? Those kids, they're back. Spring break's over. Some of them will be outside Tesla dealerships tomorrow protesting because Musk wants to ruin our democracy. Because Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education. We have a problem in this country. People are stupid. That's the problem. People are stupid and they're not learning anything in the public schools. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't get violent tomorrow. Hopefully people are waking up, understanding that if you do commit violence, vandalism, you will be prosecuted. Times have changed. A new sheriff in town, you will go to jail. Somehow I don't think it's going to stop them. They're just stupid. That's all. They're just stupid. But that will do it for today and for this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is The Callahan Show, and we'll do it again Monday morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Is she crazy?
Thank you. Thank you
Wow.
all. Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, too many thank yous.